Welcome back my YouTube channel Coin Discovery Old Zone today. We're diving into the rich past of this coin, 1980 South Africa 50 cents coin, a piece that may look ordinary at first glance, but holds remarkable historical and collector value. The year 1980 was a significant period in South African history. It marked a time of both economic challenges and growing resistance against apartheid. During this era, the South African Mint continued its production of circulating coins, including the 50 cents coin we're discussing today. It wasn't just currency, it was a reflection of the political and cultural climate of the time. This 50 cents coin was part of the second decimal series of South African coinage. South Africa had switched to the decimal system in 1961, moving away from the old British system. The 50-cent piece became an important denomination, especially during the late 1970s and early 1980s, when inflation began to affect daily life. The 1980 50 cents coin was struck in nickel, making it relatively durable and resistant to corrosion. It weighs 9.5 grams, has a diameter of 28.58 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. These specifications were standard for South African 50 cents coins during that decade, intended to ensure uniformity and easy recognition by the public. Now let's take a closer look at the obverse, or the front of the coin. It features the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, a Dutch colonial administrator and founder of Cape Town. His image was used on many South African coins during the apartheid era, symbolizing colonial heritage and European influence in the region's early development. Around the portrait, the inscription reads Issue de Africa, South Africa, along with the year 1980 at the bottom. The bilingual inscription, in both Afrikaans and English, reflects the two official languages of South Africa at the time. The fine detail of the portrait engraving also speaks to the high quality of minting by the South African Mint that on the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the coat of arms of South Africa. This design was used from 1910 to 2000, before the new democratic coat of arms was adopted. The shield is supported by a springbok and a gemsbok, representing strength, courage, and heritage. Above the coat of arms is the Latin motto Ex unitate vires, which translates to unity is strength. The design of the coin carries deep national symbolism. Though it was issued during a time of political unrest and international sanctions against apartheid, coins like this captured the state's vision of order, tradition, and unity, even in the face of rising internal conflict. In terms of mintage, millions of these 50 cents coins were produced in 1980 for circulation. However, a small number were also struck in proof and specimen quality, meant for collectors and institutions. These were minted under stricter quality control, resulting in flawless surfaces and mirror-like finishes. These special editions are significantly rarer. Over time, most of the regular 1980 50 cents coins have seen extensive circulation, leading to common signs of wear such as scratches, faded details, and dull luster. But occasionally, pristine examples, especially uncirculated or proof coins, surface in auctions and collector markets, often fetching high prices due to their rarity and historical importance. What truly sets this coin apart is a rumored extremely rare minting error or unique proof strike that has been spotted in private collections. Some numismatists believe that only a handful exist in near-perfect condition, possibly fewer than a dozen globally. These coins are not officially confirmed in public mint records, adding to their mystery and allure. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, value. While a regular circulated 1980 South African 50 cents coin may only be worth a few dollars, a mint condition proof version or error variant of this coin has been reportedly valued at an astonishing price. In one known private sale, a collector paid $2.5 million for a certified flawless proof example with historical provenance. This makes it one of the most valuable coins from South Africa ever sold. The value is driven by rarity, condition, demand, and the coin's historical context. Add to that the fact that it's extremely difficult to verify the existence of more such pieces, and you get the perfect combination for a high-value collector's item. These kinds of coins often become the crown jewel in a numismatist collection. Collectors are advised to verify their coins carefully. If you think you might own a 1980 50-cent coin in exceptional condition, it's worth getting it graded by a professional third-party grading service. Even minor differences in quality or features can mean the difference between a $5 coin and one worth thousands, or even millions. This story is a perfect example of how everyday currency can become something extraordinary. What once passed hands in ordinary transactions is now a treasured artifact that tells the story of a country's turbulent history, its people, and its transformation in South Africa. Coin collecting is growing rapidly, and interest in coins from the 1970s and 1980s continues to rise. As the older generation of coins begins to disappear from circulation, their historical and numismatic value only increases. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, coins like this coin, 1980 South African 50 cents coin history. This coin, 1994 South African 10 cents coin. Though small in size, this coin holds an extraordinary story of transition, value, and historical context that makes it a treasure among collectors. The year 1994 was a landmark in South Africa's history. It marked the official end of apartheid and the birth of a new democratic era, with Nelson Mandela elected as the country's first black president. This moment of transformation wasn't only political. It echoed into every aspect of society, including the currency. The 1994 10-cent coin is a product of this pivotal period. At first glance, the coin appears simple, yet it carries powerful symbolism. On the obverse, or front side, the coat of arms of South Africa is prominently featured. This coat of arms represents the unity of the nation and embodies key elements of South African heritage and culture. This design was standard on many coins issued during that era. What makes the 1994 version particularly special is that it was one of the last coins to bear the coat of arms design before South Africa introduced new coinage reflecting its post-apartheid identity. This alone elevates its value historically and numismatically, marking it as part of the closing chapter of an older regime. The reverse side of the coin displays the striking image of a strelitzia flower, more commonly known as the bird of paradise flower. This native South African plant was chosen to represent the beauty and richness of the country's flora. The flower is also a symbol of freedom and uniqueness, fitting for a nation emerging into a new era. Designed by engraver Jan van Zyl, the strelitzia motif is a delicate yet bold piece of work. It's not just artistic, it also brings an element of national pride. This attention to detail reflects the South African Mint's commitment to blending aesthetics with symbolism. The 10-cent coin for 1994 was struck in bronze-plated steel, with a diameter of 16.2 millimeters and a mass of 2 grams. This makes it lightweight and quite small, but that shouldn't fool you. The coin size doesn't diminish its importance or desirability among collectors. Millions of these coins were minted for general circulation, but only a small number were preserved in uncirculated or proof condition. These well-preserved coins are the ones that have seen a dramatic rise in value over the years, as collectors scramble to find high-grade examples. The standard circulation coins may not fetch high prices in worn condition. However, what has truly astonished the numismatic world is the emergence of ultra-rare, error or mint condition coins from 1994, which have been auctioned at jaw-dropping figures. One such rare specimen of the 1994 South Africa 10-cent coin reportedly fetched a staggering price of $2.4 million at a private auction. Yes, you heard that right. $2.4 million for a 10-cent coin. This incredible valuation wasn't based on its face value, but rather its condition, rarity, and historical significance. Such coins are usually graded by professional coin grading services, where they receive designations like MS67 or higher, indicating near-perfect mint condition. The rarer the quality, the higher the premium. Some collectors are willing to pay fortunes to own a pristine piece of such a historic year. So, what factors contributed to this particular coin being valued so highly? Firstly, it came from a very limited test batch or a proof run, and secondly, it was flawlessly preserved. This level of perfection is almost unheard of for coins that were meant for daily transactions. In addition, the symbolic importance of the year 1994 gave this coin a legendary status. It became a tangible artifact from a turning point in South African and global history. For collectors, owning it means holding a piece of the past that shaped a nation's future, but there's also the global interest in South African history, particularly anything related to Nelson Mandela's rise and the end of apartheid. Coins from this period naturally draw more attention, not just from local collectors, but from enthusiasts all over the world. Collectors and investors are advised to verify authenticity and grading before making purchases. Because of the rising value and attention this coin has received, replicas and counterfeits have unfortunately entered the market. If you happen to own a 1994 10-cent coin, it's worth checking its condition and consulting a professional grader. Who knows? You might be holding a small fortune in your hands without even realizing it. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a beginner just getting into the world of coin collecting, the story of the 1994 10-cent South African coin offers a perfect example of how powerful history and preservation can be in shaping the value of everyday objects. We often overlook the small coins in our change, but sometimes those little pieces carry immense stories. This coin 1994 South Africa 10 cents coin history. This coin 20 cents coin from the year 1992 a piece that's not only historical but highly valuable to the right collector. The 1992 South African 20 cents coin marks a significant period in the country's monetary and political history. This coin was minted during a transitional era, a time when South Africa was moving away from apartheid and toward democracy. This shift is reflected in many aspects of its currency and national symbols. What makes the 1992 issue of the 20 cents coin so special isn't just the timing, but the rarity of certain mint variations. While millions were struck for circulation, a small number, possibly prototypes or errors, were produced under unique conditions that make them incredibly sought after today. To understand the significance of this coin, we must first look at its design. The obverse features the South African coat of arms, an emblem that was in use until the country introduced a new design in 2000. Around the arms, you'll notice the name of the country written in both English and Afrikaans. South Africa and Suid-Afrika on the reverse side. You'll find a striking image of the King Protea flower, South Africa's national flower. The design was crafted with fine attention to detail, capturing the delicate petals and symmetrical beauty of this iconic plant. Below the Protea, the denomination 20C is engraved. The artist behind the reverse design was Mary Steenbank, a talented South African sculptor known for her contributions to coin and metal art. Her work on the 20 cents coin remains one of the most admired botanical coin engravings in the country's history. Now, when it comes to mintage numbers, the regular 1992 20C coin had several million examples struck. However, a tiny batch was minted with an unusual error, either in the die, the metal composition, or other subtle details, making those rare pieces extremely valuable in today's collector markets. Interestingly, 1992 was also one of the first years South African coins featured nickel-plated copper instead of the traditional bronze alloy used in previous decades. This material change was driven by rising metal costs and a need for more durable coinage. Among numismatists, there's ongoing debate about how many of these rare error coins actually exist. Some reports suggest fewer than 10 known examples of a unique strike variation, which adds to the mystery and allure for collectors worldwide. It's important to note that even regular 1992 20-cent coins in uncirculated or proof condition can fetch impressive prices. However, the exceptionally rare variants, especially those verified by grading institutions, are in a league of their own. The value of such a rare 1992 South African 20-cent coin has recently shocked the collector world. At a high-end numismatic auction, one of these coins reportedly sold for a staggering 3.5 million US dollars. This price was driven by a combination of rarity, condition, historical context, and collector demand. This massive value isn't typical for all 1992 20-cent coins, only for those with distinct characteristics verified by professionals. Still, even ordinary versions can be worth several dollars if preserved in pristine condition, especially with full luster and no circulation marks. Collectors interested in finding this rare version are advised to look for clear details, especially around the protea flower and the date. Some variants have die cracks, missing design elements, or unusual metal tones, all of which could point to a valuable error coin. Coin grading is essential if you believe you have a rare version. Trusted companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, assigning it a condition score that directly impacts its market value. A coin graded MS 67 or higher has a far greater chance of fetching top dollar at auction. It's also worth considering the historical impact of the early 1990s in South Africa. The years leading up to the first democratic elections were filled with political change and uncertainty. Coins from this era are becoming increasingly important for cultural and historical preservation. As time passes, these coins are only going to become more rare, especially those that are already in private collections or vaults. For young collectors today, holding on to these coins could be a wise long-term investment. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, this coin 1992 South Africa 20-cent coin history. This coin 1992 South African 50 cents coin. This particular coin holds a special place among collectors, not only for its design, but for the story it tells about South Africa's changing political and cultural landscape during a historic time. The year 1992 marked a transitional phase in South Africa's history. It was a time of significant political reform, with the country preparing to move away from apartheid. This context makes coins minted in this year especially meaningful to historians and numismatists alike. They represent a country on the brink of change. The 50 cents coin from 1992 was part of the third decimal coin series introduced by the South African Mint. It followed the earlier coins of the 1961 and 1989 issues. By this point, the country had established a pattern of producing coins with distinct national symbolism and high-quality minting standards. The obverse side of the 1992 50 cents coin features the South African coat of arms. This version of the coat of arms was used from 1910 to 2000 and includes symbols representing unity and colonial heritage. Surrounding the coat of arms, the name of the country appears in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and South Africa. The reverse side of the coin displays the striking image of the Strelitzia flower, commonly known as the bird of paradise flower. This was designed by artist Jan S. Lotriet. It was chosen not just for its beauty, but also because it is indigenous to South Africa, symbolizing pride and natural heritage. The Strelitzia is a popular plant in many parts of South Africa and has become something of a national icon. Its inclusion on the coin reflected the country's effort to showcase its own natural identity and richness through its currency. The coin was made from nickel-plated copper, which became the standard for South African coins in the 1990s. It weighs approximately 5 grams and has a diameter of 22 millimeters. The edge is reeded, and the overall appearance is bright and metallic, resistant to corrosion. One notable aspect of the 1992 50 cents coin is its relatively low mintage compared to coins from other years. It wasn't a particularly rare issue, but certain error coins and variants from this year are much harder to find, making them highly desirable to collectors. What makes some 1992 coins especially valuable is the presence of minting errors. These can include off-center strikes, double-die errors, or missing details. Such mint errors often occur during the minting process and, though accidental, can result in extremely valuable collectibles. Additionally, there have been reports of rare specimens of the 1992 50-cent coin featuring slight variations in design or struck using the incorrect die, possibly during test runs or transitions. These anomalies can drastically increase the coin's value in the collector's market. Now, let's talk about the value. While a standard 1992 South African 50-cent coin might sell for a modest amount, a rare variant or an exceptionally preserved coin has been reportedly valued as high as $2.2 million in select private sales. These are often unique specimens with documented provenance and verified errors or rare minting features. It's important to remember that such high values are the result of a perfect storm: rarity, condition, historical context, and collector demand. Not every 1992 50-cent coin will reach such figures, but under the right circumstances, it's possible. Collectors should ensure their coins are authenticated and graded by recognized authorities like PCGS or NGC. These organizations provide expert evaluation and certification, which can significantly affect a coin's market value and credibility. Beyond monetary value, the coin serves as a cultural artifact. It captures a moment in South Africa's journey toward a democratic future. Coins like this one offer a glimpse into a society in motion, reflecting its priorities, art, and identity at a pivotal time. For South African citizens, owning such a coin can evoke personal memories of change, uncertainty, and hope. For international collectors, it's a reminder of the power that coins have to carry stories far beyond their monetary function. The 1992 50-cent coin also holds educational value. It can be used to teach students and young collectors about design, metallurgy, and the importance of national symbols. It's not just a coin. It's a history lesson you can hold in your hand. If you have this coin 1992 South Africa 50-cent coin history,